Alright gangsters, this video I'm going to show you how to sound like Jades. So this is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to show you the entire preset. I literally am not selling this preset. You get it for free. You just have to watch this video. So Jades likes to have some pretty warm vocals. They're not very high end oriented, so you have to pull off like a warmer sound. Just as a little tip, if you like actually just want to copy him. So that's like a problem a lot of people run into. I know that as a noob, I used to like mix my vocals and not understand why they were so loud like in the high end, but the actual reason for that is because if you take out the low end, then it inevitably boosts the high end because you have to turn your vocals up, so you're turning up the high end. So it's like a weird like way to explain it, but in this preset I'm going to show you exactly how I did that, and I'm going to give it to you for free. I'm going to show you the raw vocals real quick, but before I show you them, I just want you to understand that your raw vocals probably sound worse than this, but it's because you're not using a recording preset. In the description, you can go and get my free artist gift package, and it comes with this recording preset for completely free. It has all these effects on it, show you how to use it. It's easy and it's very fucking good. So once you record out with this recording preset, you'll probably sound something similar to this. But then if you copy all of this stuff in this preset, this is what you'll sound like. I wanna get high with his bitch. None of this shit was a surprise. Waves, tune, real-time, stereo. The reason that I'm using Waves instead of Antrez, which is like the blue auto-tune plugin if you didn't know, is because I feel like Waves is a little bit more natural sounding, just my opinion. And Jades, if you listen to him, he doesn't have that like auto-tuney sound. So, but if I were to do Antrez, I would probably do like set the key, the scale, and then retune speed 0, or maybe even like 5. The flex tune to like 40, and then humanize maybe like 10, and I'd call it a day. Auto tune really isn't that deep. You just tweak it until it sounds good. If something is off, you tweak it. If something sounds good, then you keep it. This first EQ I have on this chain is this right here. So I have this first band set to a high pass, and then it's getting rid of all of this muddy stuff around here, because if you didn't know, anything below this area is very muddy. Typically a beat has bass in it, and you don't want your vocals to be clashing with the bass, so this is why we do this. Now be careful with this. You don't want to go too far to the right, because then that's going to cause your vocals to be thin and harsh in the high end, which is not what you want. Then I have this EQ right here. The reason I do this is because if we listen to my vocals, this is what I'm cutting out because it doesn't sound good. I mean, there's no other else. There's nothing else to say. In your vocal, find this exact EQ and turn it down. Now don't copy the exact frequency, so don't copy 1274 hertz because yours isn't going to be the same. So you gotta find this exact frequency and just turn it down. Now I forgot to say this at the start of the video, but in the end of this video I'm actually going to show you the most important thing that Jades does. Without that thing, the effects that I'm showing you aren't really going to be of much benefit. Obviously the mixing matters, but doing the last thing that I show you is going to be the most important thing. And then on this EQ, I just have this turned down. Now I have a compressor with a threshold of -17, a ratio of 7, almost 8, and then a gain of 5. Now, if you don't know how to use compression just basically makes it so that your vocals aren't going super loud and then they're going super quiet. Like that boosts up the lows, and then it turns on the highs of the volumes of your vocals. So the threshold is you telling the compressor when to turn on and when to turn the volume of the vocal down. So in order to find what your threshold should be, you want to watch the volume of your vocal by clicking the insert and then playing it, and then wherever it is, if you I just stuttered so bad. If you start to see that it goes a little too high for your liking and it's just getting loud, then turn the threshold there. And then the ratio and the gain you figure out on your own, but the ratio you can copy. And then I have a de-esser. Now this de-esser is actually extremely important. It is set to the frequency of where my S's are. You might not have the same de-esser, but you can more than likely choose where you want to de-ess for a frequency. I did pick the frequency where my S's are, but I actually have it turned down a lot, so like more than I usually would. So whatever you would normally de-ess it, just turn it down a lot more. Because Jade's vocals are so warm, I actually use the de-esser to kind of warm up my vocals a lot, because instead of just EQing, it makes it easier with the de-esser, because then your entire vocal take isn't ruined, but it does warm up your vocals a lot. And then I have a modern Apophis, which is another compressor, and then for this I just have the threshold like I explained earlier, a ratio of 8, and then the makeup is the gain. So you could just copy this. This is a free plugin, by the way, if you want to go get it. I really really like it. And now I have an EQ that looks like this. This looks pretty weird. I'm sure to you it probably looks pretty weird, but we'll just break it down. So the first thing that I do is I come to this frequency and I turn it down. So it's this frequency right here. So pretty much everyone has this frequency right here. It's super muddy and you can turn it down, but don't turn it down too much, because if you turn this specific frequency down too much, that's what really thins your vocals up, because this is like the primary bass note of your vocal. And then I cut this frequency down here, and this one, and I cut this one, and I also cut this one, and then I have a delay. All I did to this was right click it, click set 8 steps on the time module, and then a reverb. I just clicked this one twice and then turn the volume down and the separation up a little bit. Now on to the important part. So we have ad-libs. You may know what ad-libs are. They're just like the all I did for my ad-libs was I re-recorded out a different take, and then I right-clicked the main vocal preset that you've copied already, hold down this save mixer state as, and drag it to this insert, and then I put on a phaser and I put it to like 1/4 of the volume. I click this right one time, and then I turn the reverb up a little bit. I got rid of the delay, and then I put on a fruity panomatic at full volume, and then I have it doing this right here. So amount is set to 64 and speed is set to 68. This just makes it so that it's panning left and right, and then obviously I just route all of my ad-libs to that insert. So double click them when you record them out and drag them to whatever insert you drag the ad-lib preset on, and then your regular vocals obviously do the same thing with like. So the ad-libs here, I added more of like a humming ad-lib. It's so you can maybe consider it not an ad-lib, but this is how it sounds. This is how he did it in the song, but it's more like a humming, like harmony type thing. That's what he did in his, so you can copy that little like harmony thing if you want. Just make sure that you like turn the ad-libs down more if you're doing this humming thing, because it can kind of cause some phasing because it can kind of cause some phasing issues if you don't mess with the volume, because the frequencies will end up like clashing over each other and it sounds terrible. Then I also have this extra take here. So this is the important thing I was talking about, is a vocal layer like slash harmony. So in my opinion, what I would do is I would do 2 of what I'm showing you, but I only did 1. So this is the harmony here, and then these are the actual vocal takes. So the harmonies, what I did was I did the same exact note and the same exact words, and I recorded over the main layer. I recorded over the main vocal, but I just did 1 octave higher. So these sound pretty shit, I'm gonna warn you, but when you add them on top of this and then you route it through your ad-lib preset, it will sound very good, because it adds like some extra frequencies, like a harmony is what it's called, to your main vocal. So it sounds pretty horrible, but then if you listen to it when you have your main vocal on, you'll hear like the kind of like a backup vocal. You can kind of hear it. If you have headphones, you'll probably hear it. And then like I said, I would do this 2 times, because this one is panned all the way to the left and the volume is down obviously. So I would do another one of these, like the same high octave type thing, same exact thing as this. Don't copy and paste them, because that will cause you issues with your phasing. You have to re-record them. But then the other one that you record, so your third one that you record out, you'd want to pan it all the way to the right and copy the volume. And then I just have like a demonstrational ad-lib here. So all I did was just copy the words that I said,
None of this shit was
and then all together you should sound like Jay.
I want my wrist on Cartier. Do I want to get high with his bitch?